Hello, good morning, Carla, Nicole. Happy Sunday. So glad you guys are here. So just wanted to say it is really kind of cloudy today, so I didn't want to risk that maybe I would get rained on. So back to the hotel I go because I don't like to do the rain. So here I am. I just wanted to welcome everybody. For those who haven't been here before, I am Carla Nicole. I'm a single mother of two. And I am here to discuss relationship issues, concerns. And so today I want to talk about, situations on both ends. For both men and women, we tend to have different issues that kind of curtails our relationships, where it's always some kind of drama or it's always something that just doesn't seem to be clicking right. And so when that happens, we end up finding ourselves in between a rock and a hard place because we want to establish relationships. I mean, really, that's what we really want to do as far as being human. We want to connect. We want to be in a relationship. We want to be able to coexist with someone else that cares about us, but in a multitude of facets, it's really not happening to where it needs to be happening. So that's why I'm here. My spiritual mission is to really help the community to really come up with better ways to which we can have relationships where they're healthier than what they are where they're healthier than what they are right now. So first off, I want to talk about the situation with the men. I have a lot of male friends, and different male friends tell me different issues that they're dealing with as far as with the opposite sex, with the other ladies, and they're having issues with it because they're struggling with, how do I really get to a point where I can be in a relationship with a woman and get to that point where I can understand where she's coming from, and so on and so forth. Good morning, Martin. Good to see you this morning. And so I want to talk about the Peekaboo type of woman. So let's talk about that real fast. The Peekaboo woman is the woman that draws a man in, and what I mean by that is she kind of draws you in. She tells you she likes you. You guys are vibing real good. You have a good rapport, and then you're starting to think, on the male side now, you're starting to think, you know what? I'm kind of really liking her, and I kind of want to take things a step further. So in order to do that, I think I want to kind of show her more attention, ask her on more dates, do more things with her, and just try to, get more engaging, try to up it up a little bit. And so what happens is, you're really into this lady, and you're feeling like everything's going well. So the rapport is going well, you're vibing, everything's great, and then all of a sudden she disappears. And that's what I call the peekaboo type. So she's here now, and then the next thing you know, you're like, well, where'd she go? We were having a real good time. I was feeling her. She seemed to be feeling me. I don't know what's going on. And so you're in between a rock and a hard place because you're feeling like, man, I thought that she was really into me. And then you kind of deflate. Then you kind of think, well, I guess things just isn't working the way I thought. And then, time will progress. And then right when you're almost at the brink of being done with the young lady, she pops up again. Boom. There she's back. And you're like, oh, well, maybe, that we were just a little out of touch. And, the men begin to make excuses for her. Well, maybe she had something going on, and she comes up with a real good one. Like, well, I was busy, or I had something going on with work, and, I just got tied up. And all kinds of different excuses that ladies will come up with because she's just not where she needs to be as far as engaging with you. So you're like, okay, all right. So then you start the rapport back up, and and things look good again, and you're like, yeah, so I think this time she's going to be into me. And then, as time progresses, she starts to fade back again, and you're like, what is going on? Well, let me just tell you why this happens. Some women are really into attention. They want the attention. They want the attention. They want the attention. And then once they get the attention, it's like, okay, I got it now. I see that he wants me, and it's no longer fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and fade back and keep my other options open with other gentlemen that I think that may not really be into me. So I need to capture his attention. So the attention you're not getting is because she's over here entertaining somebody else to get his attention. And then when he fades back, when he gets all caught up in her, she falls back to you. It's just not fair. And I want the guys to get this, because I think it's important and very, very necessary that you gents get what this is about. It's really not about you. It's not because you're not a good guy or none of that. It has everything to do with her. So what's happening is she's getting so just into trying to draw you in with her beauty or her sexy or her her flair. And so what's happening is guys are like, yeah, I'm really into her. She's sexy, hot. She's this, she's that. And as soon as you start feeling her, she's gone. And you're like, how did this happen? I really thought this chick was into me. Well, women of this sort has a tendency to almost to the point be kind of isolated. They really don't have very good social skills. So they draw men with their sexy, or they draw men in with their, their flirtatious ways. And, men, you guys have a tendency to get drawn into the woman that's really trying to, turn up the sexy a little bit, because you guys like the sexiness of women. But the problem is, if a woman is only trying to get with you to intrigue you with her sexy, or intrigue you by being like, yeah, I want to be with you, but I really don't know for sure, dial back, because this woman is really like I said, I call them the peekaboo types, but they're really kind of just trying to draw the man in just enough to where it's like, okay, I got him. And then they're off to something else. And it's just not fair. Good morning, Marcus. Good to see you. Lamia, I see you. Steve, Zell, so glad you guys are here. So just since you guys just popped on, just going to give you a recap of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the peekaboo types for gentlemen. The ladies that say they're, or they don't necessarily say it, but they portray that they are into someone or into a guy. And what happens is the guy gets all into her and thinks, yeah, baby, you sexy, hot, and I'm into you. And yeah, we're doing really well. Hey, Ja. And we're doing all this hot stuff and we're feeling you and all that. And then the girl fades back and the guys are like, where'd she go? We had a real good rapport with each other. I thought she was feeling me. And she made it look like, per se, she made it look like she was into me. But now I'm finding out that this chick is just playing games. And then as you start to see, it's excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse as to why she's not around when she seems to be around for a minute, and then she dials back. This is a trait that you gentlemen want to really not entertain. And the best way to decide or pay attention to women that's into this is you have to pay attention to their patterns. Patterns meaning a woman that is really into a gentleman. Now, I want you guys to get this. They will be available to you. It's not this crap about, well, I'm busy, I got this to do, I got that to do, I got kids, I got all this other stuff. Nobody's that busy. So if she's really not spending the time and the quality with you that she should be, then trust and believe she's really not into you like that, and she's basically got other options open. If that's the case, it is unfair to you. So my thing is, I know that a lot of times it's an illusion now. It's an illusion that men don't want relationships. And I'm finding that to be very untrue. because when I sit down and talk to brothers, because, I have a lot of good male friends that I'm close to. Y'all are all sexy, hot, and fine, and all that. But I sit down and talk to men because I think it's important that we get the truth about what men really want. And what I'm understanding from the men's perspective, at least the ones that I'm close with, are telling me that, nah, the problem is most of the time when I'm feeling a chick, she'll start to dial back and I'm thinking something's up. And I'm like, well, and then she comes up with an excuse. And so I try to forgive it and, give her another chance. And then next thing I know, she does it again. And because I'm feeling her, I kind of forgive more often than probably I would if I wasn't really all into the chick like that. So I'm just saying, if a woman is inconsistent with a man because she doesn't really show that she's really into you like she should be, then pay very, very good attention to that. Here's the other thing, too, I want you guys to get. If a woman has butterflies for you, women that have butterflies for you and real giddy and excited over you, they're in awe rather than intrigued. And a woman that's in awe of you will find herself wanting to place you up on a pedestal because she just cannot believe that you're giving her attention. Another dangerous such situation right there. Because women have a tendency to want to sometimes put a man up here and look what I got and see how handsome he is and look, I have a relationship, so I'm now valuable now. And it's very dangerous because a lot of times women get caught up in, ooh, he's sexy hot, he's handsome, I like him. But you want to make sure a woman is growing into intrigue with you rather than getting so caught up in, ooh, I'm liking him because he's sexy, or I'm liking him because he has this or he has that. He can supply my wants. Because, a lot of times we women want everything. We want this, we want that. We're never, hey, Joe, we want this, we want that. We don't know really that it's not about what your wants are. It's about what your needs are. So I just want you guys to get this because I see a lot of men that are frustrated because there really isn't a understanding with why a woman goes through these waves and changes and she's into you one minute and then she's not the next. So I just wanted to give you a heads up, guys. Look, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that if a woman is into you, she will be consistent. She will take your calls. She will call you. She will want to spend time with you. If you ask her on dates, she will agree to them. If the woman is not being consistent, then there's a red flag there. There's something that you need to be kind of mindful of. Here's the other thing. If she begins to get all into you and it just seems a little bit like this girl is into me, but it just seems overly into you, be careful with that too, because it can be an acting thing. She could be like, yeah, baby, I'm really into you, and ooh, yeah, and this and that. And you're like, oh, yeah, she's feeling me. But don't let her gas you up. If she's really feeling you, she's going to feel you in a different way. She's going to allow herself time to expand her likeness for you rather than being all about you. And then the next thing you know, it's like, well, where'd she go? I thought she was into me. And I'm finding a lot of guys that are male, my male friends tell me that these women, they have a tendency to draw them in because they're just so beautiful. And I think some men think, well, man, I can't believe she's actually giving me some play. So you just got to watch, because sometimes women that knows that they have the beauty that most men will draw to, they will use that beauty to draw you in. And then you're like, man, I'm just feeling her and blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, you're like, man, I don't know where she's at. Well, she's keeping her options open, but she wants you dedicated to her. Not fair. So I just want you guys to get this, because I want you guys to see that sometimes the peekaboo type women are really not serious with anybody. They're only serious with what they feel is okay or what they think is nice or at the moment. But if they're really drawn to you and they really want to be with you, there's no question that they're not going to take their time out to spend with you. So I want y'all guys to get this, because a lot of times people don't want to acknowledge that these women are playing games. And honestly, the women don't consider it a game, because they think that, well, you know, he's into me too because I'm drawing, but you're turning your sexy up. And you know you're doing it. You're turning your sexy up. You know that this man's going to draw into you because, ooh, she's sexy. She's giving me the look. You know, she's doing this, she's doing that. So it's like, yeah, don't do that, because what's happening is we're finding men drawn in, and then the man is like, well, I don't even know what to do. I'm confused. And guys, here's the other thing I want you guys to get to, and I think it's important. I don't want you guys, because you have dealt with a lady like this, to assume all women are like that, because that's not the case. Just some women have a tendency to, they really have a tendency to think they're all that, and in their conceit, okay, they know that you're going to draw to their physical beauty, the outside. But a real woman that has beauty, and if you look at the women across the board that, you know, are impacting the earth and the world, their inner beauty outshines their physical beauty, and that's what you want to draw to. It's very easy to get caught up in, you know, she got a nice ass, she got nice hips, she's got nice lips, she's got pretty hair, whatever. It's easy to draw to that because that's physically, you can see it. But if you take a pause and you just really look at her heart, pay attention to her sincerity. Does she care about other people? Is she revolving around just herself, or is she extending out who she is to other people? One thing about women is they draw to people that are in the same likeness. Check out the chick's group of friends she hangs with. Are they all about how cute they are, what kind of shoes they're wearing, the purses they're wearing? Or are they more about how can we extend out ourselves, our services? Are we selfless? Can we help other people? Look at that. And if you find that a woman is not all about, you want her to look decent and nice and stuff, that's cool. But if she's not all about, you know, the external things, the possessions and the diamonds and the jewels and stuff like that, but she's more about intriguing other people with her soul and how she can help other people, that's what you want to go for. And I just wanted to chime in on that with you guys, is to be mindful. I know it's hard because I'm the same way. I'm attracted to handsomeness and all that. And I know, gentlemen, you are attracted to beauty. But sometimes you got to pause on the beauty, because sometimes the women that get all this attention from men, they know that they can get what they want based upon their physical beauty. They don't have to work for it. They don't have to work to get men's attention, because men draw to them anyway because they look nice. So that's what I wanted to touch base on as far as with you guys. If you guys have any, you know, questions about the peekaboo type, or if you want to question if a lady that you're interested in is a peekaboo type, inbox me, and we can kind of have a vibe, and we can talk about what's going on. Yes, Marcus, it's so important to be attracted to the mental connection. What happens is, a lot of times though, is the physical beauty gets so caught up in, yes, I want to be with you because you look so good. And a lot of times that's just not the way to go, because I think outside of everything else, physical beauty is temporary. As we age and grow old, we're going to find ourselves to be, you know, different physically. And, you know, you never know if you get in an accident or different things happen over life. So we want to be mindful that it's not always all about, ooh, I want to be with this person because they look good or they look cute. And, you know, sometimes people will tell you, oh, you guys look so cute together. Well, that's nice and all, but that's not what's going to sustain the relationship. So you want to be mindful of that. But like I said, if you guys are not sure if someone is a peekaboo type, hit me up, and you know, me and you can discuss about what your situation is and what you're dealing with, because you need to have your own personal peace. A lot of times, when you're dealing with a woman that isn't really consistent, it makes you feel like, am I doing something wrong? And that's really not fair. And you deserve to have someone that really legitimately wants to be with you or cares about you in a way that is, received and given. So, I mean, if you're not getting that reciprocated, it's not fair. So that's for the gents. I hope that you guys got something for that. Now I'm going to turn my attention to the ladies. But before I do that, Peekaboo, Steve, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed the information. I just want to give you guys a heads up that, you know, the Peekaboo type is something that is tough for gents. And yes, Joe, you're right. You want to look for selflessness. Selflessness is key. You don't want to get with a woman that's only about herself, because it's really not going to be good to sustain a long-term relationship. Now, if you want to just have somebody for a temporary status, even selfless women, you know, is not really good. But I just think that for you, for the best part for you is to make sure that you seek to find someone that is selfless. And you're right, Joe. I'm definitely wanting to encourage women to not play games. The ladies that are watching, if you are into a dude or you're not sure, you know, be open and honest. I mean, a lot of times we can't just be honest about how we feel. Or, you know, I need some time to get to know you longer, or, you know, just be upfront. Don't keep your waters murky, because a lot of times when you keep your waters murky, the guy's getting a different signal and maybe thinking it's going well, and it's really not. So that's not fair to you and or him. So that's really important. Now for the ladies. All right, ladies, so we're going to talk about this gentleman that is very common and is very often going into a whole different vibe for us ladies. And I want to talk to the ladies about Mr. Inconsistent. The one dude that is inconsistent. He is all over the place. And you, as far as women are concerned, are so in love with dude. And he is a guy that really, all he wants to do is use you, but you want to keep making excuses for him. So I'm going to put it out here like this. So, for instance, there's a guy that you're feeling or you care about, and what's happening is he is around when he wants or needs something from you. Now, what is that something per se? It could be many things. It could be he needs you for working on something he's doing for his business. It could be he's needing your time. It could be he's needing your intimacy. It could mean he's needing you for just for money. He's needing you for different reasons. And when you in turn need him, you can't find him. And I think the hard part for us ladies is we get so overly consumed with, ooh, he's around on the times that you are doing something for him. He is right here. Yeah, I'm doing something for him, so he's here. So I'm happy with that. But when you need him, you can't find him. He's everywhere else, or he's not taking your calls. He's not really engaging with you. The feeling is not mutual, but you want to keep making excuses for why he's not there. And I think this goes on both sides, even with the men, with the peekaboo ladies. The inconsistent man has the same issue, but it's just the opposite for the women. What happens is they draw you in by just almost to a degree of being there just enough. Just enough. I mean, I'm talking about just enough to where you're like, yes, he's with me, and you're so excited he's there in those slots of time that you're doing something for him. And so, but a majority of the time, the man is just not, he's not there. He's not there for you. And so now what's happening is it's like, man, I really want to be with him. I really love him. I'm feeling him. And it's like, okay, I understand you're feeling him and you're loving him, but is that realistic though? Because it's not being reciprocated. It's not being exchanged, if you will. Your feelings are all over the place, and he's taking up a lot of real estate in your mind because you only can think about him on the times he's not there. And it's not fair. It's not fair. It's like, look, the problem is, as long as you continue to get caught up in this gentleman that is only around when he needs you, you're going to find yourself in between a rock and a hard place, because you are not leaving room for someone else that maybe wants to be with you. You are leaving all this time and space, all that time he's not around, which is, we'll say, 90% of the time. The man's not engaging with you. He's not calling you. He's not texting you. He's not coming by to see you. He's not doing any of these things at all. The only time you hear from him is when he wants something. That could be sex. That could be stuff for him. It could be all kinds of stuff. It could be your time. But he doesn't really want to dial back and really sit down and say, hey, I want to be with you at all. But you are so caught up in just the moments that he is there, which is slim to none. And so that's not fair to you. But you have all this expectation of what this man is giving you out of the small slot of 10% of the time he's around. But you look up and you're like, all this other time, I'm alone. But why am I so overly consumed with him? Why am I so excited over him? Well, I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times we as women, we get so caught up in just wanting to be with a man that we really don't sit down and think about, is that man really for us? Is he really supposed to be here in our lives? We just spend more time about, well, I'm just glad he's here. But 90% of the time, you're by yourself. 90% of the time, he's nowhere to be found. You can't find him. And so it's like, well, I know I can't find him, but I really want to be with him. And then, you know, I have a lot of male friends, like I said, that really are good guys, but they can't get through to women like this because the women that are good women are overly consumed with Mr. Inconsistent. Mr. Dude that doesn't want to be around, but when he wants to be around. And he's like, well, you know, I can't even get in with you because there's no room. You know, you even when you're not with this dude, he's in your mind. And so how we're doing it is we're filling up our head with all the time that's lapsed, all the time that he's not around. We're filling in our head of the fantasy. Hey, Samaj, happy Sunday to you. So, you know, you're filling up your mind and you're allowing this man way too much real estate in the mind so that you can continue to be in denial that this man really isn't for you. But because he's around just in that 10% of time, then it makes it so awesome that you are with him. So it's like, man, it's not even worth all that. The best thing for you to do, ladies, is to really evaluate, is this really someone that has your best interest? And how you know that is he's there. Period. It's not about he's there when I need him. He's there when, you know, when he needs me. But it's a blend. It's a harmony. It's not always about he gives me this and I give him that. But it's a harmony. It's based upon the man is there, not based upon when he needs you, but he's there just period. And you are able to receive him when you need him, not based off of time. And I'm not talking about milestones or none of that. I'm just saying when you have someone around that is wanting to be there, they're there, period. You don't have to make it up in your head or go into this fantasy about how great he would be if he was here more often. And when you sit down and discuss it, is it just disregarded? Because you really want to have more time with him? Does he take that into account and try to do better? If not, he's just not that into you. And you're spending a lot of time and allowing this man more time in your mind, like I said, and more, you're allowing him to do way more in your life than he needs to be. Because men that are here, they're just here. It's not a gray area for men. If they want to be with you, they're there. If they want to spend time with you, they call. If they want to go on a date with you, they come by and say, hey, can I take you out? It's not this gray area like all people think, especially ladies with Mr. Inconsistent. She seems to think, well, you know, he's busy or he's got this going on, he's got that going on. Well, is that the case? Not necessarily, but it could be, it may not be. Yes.
It comes down at 1.
Okay, we'll be over there in just a second. And so go get your food ready. and then I'll be.
For you.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that it is very important that you pay or are very mindful of Mr. Inconsistent. So again, it's vitally important that we get past the thinking of just a man wanting to be there. It's just for his time and not yours. So that's what's definitely important. And Joe, you're right. If he doesn't make room for you, then don't make room for him. But a lot of times we women don't want to go down that route. We don't want to really think about it. We just want to be in denial. So for the ladies that's going through this particular scenario, start to divorce yourself from this gentleman and start to allow yourself time to be alone and start to evaluate what it is you really want in a relationship, because it's not that complicated. If he's wanting to be there, he'll be there. If he doesn't, he won't. So my time is up, but again, if you guys have something you want me to discuss, just inbox me under Carla Nicole Willis. I mean, I've been doing this now for a couple of, maybe about 7 or 8 weeks now, just to give you a little information on relationships. A lot of times we lose sight on how we can really do better if we would spend more time with learning the different scenarios and getting more knowledgeable of why relationships don't do too well anymore. So again, I'm so glad you guys chimed in. For those of you that chimed in late, no problem. I'm going to post this soon. And also, just to let you know, I have a group called Live with Carla Nicole. If you want to see my videos, be sure to go on there and just join my group. I'm going to have some exclusive videos that I go on there with, and just kind of give you guys more exclusive videos there, and you'll also be able to watch them on the playlist and things of that nature. So go there. Also, I have a single out called Let's Touch. If you want to grab that, it's $2.99 on CD Baby. Inbox me, I can give you the information on that. I also have a book that my poems are featured in called Girl Me Too. So if you want to grab a book, also inbox me. And I just appreciate you guys so much. Thanks, Emmanuel, for being here. It is a beautiful Sunday. And you're right, Steve. Yes, men do definitely look for space in their life so they can see how to maneuver. And you're right. A lot of times, women really aren't talking to men about men issues or relationships. So they listen to their girlfriends, and of course their girlfriends don't really know what's going on with men. So again, I appreciate you guys so much. So take care. It's Carla Nicole signing off.
Best cat.
Best cat. Have a good morning. Bye.